So when I asked for support, I was guided to the Goddess Power Oracle deck. And again, just like last Trecena with Akbal, Mama Killa came out, the moon goddess, who is, she presides over the power of the cycles and seasons and the moon and the 13 moon cycles, which is perfectly in line with Cib, as well as the other Trecenas, because they go into 13 lunar phases of the moon, the different phases of the moon, from a new moon to the waning and waxing to fully illuminating. All of the different cycles all have different patterns and feelings associated with them that guide us to move in different ways. So Mama Killa here is also here as an ally and guide that you can call upon. And just as a reminder, you can look at the videos that I've made previously about Mama Killa, but basically she's asking us to see what is familiar and decide whether you need improvement on it or to leave them as they are. Not everything needs changing. Some things you've built correctly for you, so there's no need to change it. But if there are things that need to be changed, it's asking you to see, is this working? Is this still working, or is it not? And if it's not, let it go. It's not serving anymore. Thank it for what it taught you. This is people, places, and things this applies to as well. The other thing is, the next supporting goddess during this Cib Trecena, this 13-day cycle, is Artemis. Artemis is a goddess reminding us about focus. And basically the empowering message that she's here to provide for us is to, in order to fully embrace the intentions that you set in motion, perhaps during the most recent full new moon cycle we started, and your current conditions, it's important to seize the moment. You notice how she has her arrow out, stretched out, like she's ready to aim for her target. Stay focused on your success. Stay focused on the things that you're creating. She's an ally and supportive goddess for us right now. And the number 4, which has to do with structure. Square it is kind of like Saturn energy, but Saturn goes through stages. It stays focused. It goes through the cycles and stages and phases to achieve its goal. So Artemis is here helping us achieve our goals and to go after and seize the moments, because like with the moon cycles, it wanes and waxes. It goes through different cycles, and each of us are feeling different ways at different parts of the moon cycle. So some parts of the moon cycle, we're feeling a little bit more tired. Other parts, we may be fully energized. So this is to take advantage of the times when you're feeling great or getting yourself into a great start, but also staying focused helps you keep that momentum going to find your success. But it's also, she's asking to surrender yourself to the process of whatever is calling for your attention. Sometimes we have to pause and pivot, but then we may find out that when we pause to pivot to something that is getting our attention, it may serve as a blessing in disguise to help us help us on what we're going after. You never know how it's going to be. Sometimes we're called to move in different ways, but it's still keeping us on course if we're following our intuition. We have this gleeful goddess Uzume, who is the goddess of humor and of laughter and mirth. And this was really nice to see come out as a support goddess, because amongst the different aspects we may be feeling, a myriad of different emotions and feelings, this goddess is reminding us to find our balance with laughter, to find our balance with the humor of things. Sometimes we can laugh at the experiences that we're experiencing, and realize, wow, as we become enlightened and see the bigger picture, giraffe snuck back in there, as we see the bigger picture of these experiences and realizing what is serving us, what's not serving us, what we need to hang on to, what we need to let go of, or just going back over some of the things that we've our trials and tribulations, sometimes we can look back and laugh and be like, wow, I made it through this. And finding the humor in these situations. Laughter is the best medicine, especially when you're healing. And a lot of us are healing right now on many facets and levels of ourselves. So keep your focus on fun and positivity and see the humor if you can. Life is not meant to be all work and no play, all focus and no release. Humor fosters resilience and lightheartedness and alleviates emotional pain. Laughing is healing, giving a much needed break from the burdens and the speed of life. So she's asking us to be silly, make some funny videos, do some dancing, laugh more, maybe take up laughing yoga. I know I've thought about that, and perhaps that's something I can create in this community. I gotta practice myself though. So thank you, Uzume, for this reminder. Our next supportive goddess is Ishtar. I feel like Ishtar comes in different names, but she is an illuminous goddess. Number 23 has to do with change. Even Mama Killa was number 32, which is also 5, which has to do with change, but this is in another capacity. So this has to do with communion, communion with spirit, communion. Your intimate relationships with the invisible world is being called upon right now as you enter unfamiliar environments and situations. As we are spiritually evolving, you see this illumined aspect in her aura. This is happening to many of us. We're now being activated in remembering our magic, remembering our spiritualness, remembering that as it's going back during this Trecena, our connection to the divine, our connection to cosmic consciousness, our connection, our communion with other spirits, with other elements, with the unseen world, with the spiritual realm. And so Ishtar here is an ally and support goddess, helping us open up and communicate with everything we need to, and reminding us that communication can come in many forms, as signs, as omens, as messages, sometimes through animals, to people, to places and things. You're going to know because it comes down to your heart knowing. And when you're aligned and in your connection with self, when you're balanced and aligned, you're able and more receptive. You may be hearing, as I mentioned a while ago, in this video, about hearing different pitches in your ears. You may be feeling different sensations in your body. You may be seeing new lights, shadows, formations, and different things. This is the activation of your spiritual abilities. So they come in many forms. So Ishtar is here as a guide. You can call upon her as well. To assist with our connection, our communion with spirit. Look at everything in your life as an opportunity for communion, losing the need for self-centeredness and connecting to source in a sacred, intimate way. You don't have to pray on your knees. I'm not saying don't do that, but there's many other ways. This is what she's also highlighting, the various ways of communing with spirit and with source and with what is all around you. There's no wrong way, and there's no one way either. So be open to all of the ways. You see how there's all these different spokes in her crown chakra? There's all the different ways to connect with spirit and being receptive. Remember the antenna. Finding your balance and being receptive to all of the ways to communicate with all that is. Lakshmi, the goddess of good fortune. One of them. There's a few of them. Lakshmi She is the Hindu goddess and heralds a celebration of your purpose, your wisdom, and your compassionate prosperity. Remember, it is your birthright to be fortunate. It is your birthright to be in abundance. It is your birthright to live in prosperity. We are not meant to live in poverty. Now we learn many lessons from that. Everything can be a lesson and learn, but you can evolve to remember and regaining your receptivity, your connection to yourself, and then realizing your connection to all that is. You start to see the abundance that is all around you in new forms. Great fortune is not just monetary. It's in love. It's abundance in how you're living and how you're feeling and how you're being. All parts of you is supposed to be abundance. That is your birthright. So Lakshmi, Goddess Lakshmi, is here to remind you that all of your experiences and all of your skills are rich with meaning and purpose. And as a result, you can expect to see the evidence of this wealth in the world around you. You have the ability right now to create great success in your life. And what you have to offer has exalted value. Lakshmi is the goddess of luck and prosperity and says it's time to share your good fortune with others, and she will show you how it multiplies when you apply gratitude, praise, and commitment to serve. And she's depicted as number 27, 2 again having to do with your intuition, your stellar intuition. 7 has to do with the mystical magicalness of yourself. 2 plus 7 equals 9. 9 has to do not only with endings, maybe endings of the old way of living because you realized that you are fortunate, that you have abundance within you and you're meant to show it. But 9 also has to do with altruism, being of service for the greater good, sharing your wealth and abundance with others and helping them see that they are wealthy and abundant and of great fortune themselves. So Goddess Lakshmi shows many aspects of prosperity and beauty that she will help us remember within ourselves too, that you can also call upon for support during this time and any time really. Goddess Aphrodite. I'm very familiar with this goddess and this energy, as I have Aphrodite asteroid conjunct my Venus in Libra. Aphrodite, many of you may be familiar with her name. She is depicted here. She also has many names, this archetypal goddess energy, but this is depicted as the Greek goddess of romantic love and represents the state of ecstatic being. And she invites you to cultivate that also within you. So we had Lakshmi just before with great fortune and beauty. All of the goddesses are representing beauty in their own way. But now this is romantic love. Now, this can mean with new partnerships, new lovers, new loves. And mind you, that's with many things. New love in creativity, new love in abundance, new love in family dynamics, new love in adventures. And that can be romanticized just the same. So this can be also the deepening of love with yourself. Maybe you realize parts as you're practicing self-love and falling in love with yourself. As you've experienced all the different aspects of yourself, you start to realize, wow, or all the ways you were giving love outwardly, you're now starting to give to yourself. And you realize how that feels when you're giving that love that you gave out to yourself. Oh, that can bring a lot of great feelings. And then that attracts, it brings a radiating energy when you love yourself to then attract the right romantic love into your life that matches you. Because you want something that matches what you give or more. So Aphrodite also is inviting you to fall in love with your life now and choose to look for the essence and expression of love all around you. Love others as yourself. Now that you learn to love yourself more, and you're still learning, love others that way too. Keep that momentum going. And by doing so, the love will increase tenfold, and you'll start to see the evidence of it everywhere you turn. I can testify to that one. So this is how Aphrodite is aiding us right now as well. And of course, she is another goddess you can call upon. All right, now we have goddess Ihi. And there may be another pronunciation of this goddess. And she represents the sun. And this is number 51, which equals 5 plus 1 is 6. So this is balanced sun energy, balanced illumination. So what she is helping us is when you shine your light into the world, and as you saw with the previous goddesses that are here supporting, as we're connecting with our higher selves, as we're remembering our unique abilities and our abundance and our magic and our connection to all that is, as we're remembering our magic, our light will be shining that much brighter. So, Ihi goddess is reminding us that when we do this, we attract various people and experiences that match or challenge your commitment to being empowered. So, you're receiving information to know which choice to make, following your intuition, which opportunity to take, which person to trust. This is an Aboriginal Australian sun goddess, and she illuminates your path with her rays and brings clarity as she shows you what you need to know. Now, mind you, these goddesses, all of them, gods and goddesses. Here I'm bringing up the divine feminine because the divine feminine is coming back into balance and within all of us in our own unique way. So, as you can see, this bright light can also, within ourselves, can attract a lot of bugs. So, as you know, many things come to light because they want to see what's going on. People, places, and things. So, know that you may also attract those who see themselves smaller as a result of your empowerment. As you come into your abundance, as you come into your truth, into your wholeness, you attract all kinds. So, this is conditioning. Stay in your empowerment. Stay empowered. Because even though you may be attracting things you may not want to attract, you still are shining your light, and hopefully this will ripple out and crack into parts of them to help them remember their own light that they have. This is condition that needs to be healed in many people in the world. All you can do is be incandescent, shining your light, and joyful, kind, and truthful, and the world will begin to reflect that goodness back to you. Goddess Ihi is happy to see you shine and is supportive of you. Remember your light. I can see how the goddesses, in order that they came out when I was shuffling, it was in perfect divine order with the messages of Cib, and how this is all supportive of this Trecena that we're in. Again, that is going from January 14th through January 26th, 2023, a 13-moon day cycle. So now we have the white buffalo calf woman reminding us about reverence. So here she provides support with reminding us that now is the time to view your world through the lens of peace, harmony, and reconciliation. The domain of the Lakota goddess, white buffalo calf woman. It is time to leave, and I'm seeing right now white buffalo popping up in my vision. Many of you have seen white buffalo come up. It's an omen of what a future omen that has now come to pass. There also is the white owl that some of you have seen, but going back to the white buffalo, it's an omen of showing the change of times right now. It's time to leave the right, wrong, good, bad, zero-sum game world behind and enter the space where you can find the sacred ground of sharing without guile and negotiating from a desire, without guile and negotiating from a desire that everyone benefits. You'll be so glad that you did. Take a humble yet grounded approach to your life right now. Only good will come of it. And White Buffalo Calf Woman supports this way of being in the world. This goes back to grace, your inner wisdom, following from the lessons that you've learned, using your intuition, your inner knowing, doing things differently, from seeing both sides, choosing another path of peace. This is what she is here to help support and remind us of. And this is number 50. 5 has to do with change. 0 is infinity, God force. So great change with God force empowering that as well. Reverence. And now we have Goddess Benzai 10, Japanese, another Japanese goddess, reminding us of beauty, reminding you of your knowing, reminding you of accepting and honoring yourself as a spiritual being in a physical body. And that physical body requires self-care. 6, going back into balance, finding the balance within oneself. Now is the time to support yourself by surrounding yourself with beauty and choosing to see its power in every aspect of your life. Take a breath and look around yourself. Take a breath, pause, reassess what's working, what isn't. If you can commit to doing that, you'll be amazed at how much more beauty will arise to greet you, because you're pausing to look at what is around you. And when you're in that stillness, you're able to see clearer. I feel that's why she has the blue over her eyes. Clearly healing your sight, healing your vision, so that you can see not only the inner beauty of yourself, but the outer beauty that is always and has always been around you that you may just not have been seeing before. Look clearly. Open your eyes to the wonder that is everywhere, even in the most unexpected places. Beauty waits to be discovered. I know I went outside today and there was snow covering the trees over many days. So it made the scenery outside look different. So when I went to go talk to the trees and be with them, they felt different, and I got to see another perspective of beauty. Do something different now that you've changed your viewpoint on different things, now that you're seeing yourself in another lens, now that you're seeing the world through a new lens. See the beauty through this new lens as well. And this goddess Benzai 10, will be here to support you. Call on her for help in seeing the beauty in your surroundings. Now we have Goddess Ma'at. Truth and balance. Justice. She has number 30. 3 has to do with the Ascended Masters. 0 has to do with God Force, Infinity, Power. Finding the balance. The 3 also has to do with creativity. In this part, Ma'at is helping us remember that there is great power in telling the truth and allowing it to lead you to a higher ground. It's only when we refuse to see the reality of a situation that we lose our power to create for the highest good. And we have this connection to all that is around us, to the higher source. And we're grounded. We're able to see in new ways, as we just had learned about in the goddess before. But Ma'at is helping us and reminding us that if we're willing to do a fearless self-inventory and live authentically in our wholeness, with rigorous honesty, It will lead us to great success in all areas of our life. Being completely transparent with others. That's a challenging one. We're working through this. This is why she's here, for support. Because as we went through Akbal, digging deep into our deepest, most selves, now we're coming into, as we revealed those parts to us, we're in this Trecena of our connection to Source, remembering our magic and our intuitive stellar abilities to cosmic consciousness. We're being led to seeing our truth and the truth of the matter, and it can be scary and feel weird and feel a little shaky and intimidating, but this is what we're being asked to do. To be vulnerable, this is exactly what we need to do. By being vulnerable, by speaking our truth, in a way maybe we have never done before. This is myself included. When we do this, we'll be flooded with this power to claim and experience a new freedom and a new happiness that will pour over our life like a wild, sweet honey. Your life is exactly where it needs to be. This is a wonderful time to empower your choice-making abilities. You are doing all the right things if you follow the invitation of Ma'at to live fearlessly in truth. As the arbiter of balance and divine order, she reminds you of the great value of this way of being. With any of these goddesses, including Ma'at, if you feel like going deeper, go deeper. Learn about these goddesses, maybe some of them you've never heard about before. Do your research. There's a lot of information that people have freely put out there for us to take advantage of. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Learn more about these goddesses and then your connection to them. You might remember working with them in the past lives. But we're all connected. We're all one, I believe. We just have to tap in to connect with these different parts of ourselves. It's all within us. Ma'at is here. Reveal, be vulnerable, speak your truth. Now, lastly, we have Goddess Metis, who symbolizes wisdom, which is most fitting because during this Cib Trecena, which is associated with the owl, is also associated with wisdom. Owls are usually associated with wisdom, nighttime, moon, creation energy. So, and we can see the moon here. It's a beautiful picture of Goddess Metis, illuminating in many capacities, and this is number 35. 3, ascended masters, creativity, being assertive. 5 have to do with change. Assertiveness as well. Assertiveness in moving forward in a new direction, from the wisdom we've gained, moving in a new direction. So 3 plus 5 has to do with 8, which is like the infinity symbol. 8 has to do with power. There's power in your wisdom. You've learned a lot. So Metis here is bringing up experience woven together with knowledge creates a beautiful thing. Wisdom. Its parts are entwined like a finely made rope that is so strong it can't be cut. Wisdom, once earned, becomes an essential part of you. We all have it. We all have it from learning and digging into our shadows too. Right now, this Greek goddess of wisdom, Metis, says you know exactly what to do in your current circumstances. You already know. You already know. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. You know what to do. It may feel intimidating because it's new. Many of us collectively are in these new parts where we have no choice. But, well, we always have a choice. But it will feel perhaps like you have no choice but to move forward into this unknown. And that's what we're being asked to do. That has to do with Ma'at too, being in truth to yourself as well. Now with this wisdom that you've gained. And we all have gained some wisdom. I'm feeling it. I can feel it collectively. We're all becoming new beings. remembering ourselves and remembering the wisdom within, not just from the experiences in this life, but many of us are remembering the wisdom that's within us from our ancestors, from past lives, which technically time is an illusion, so all are happening all at the same time. So you're remembering these parallel realities. So you're gaining wisdom from here and here. It's like all these different parts coming in, this wisdom coming into yourself. So Goddess Metis, you know exactly what to do in your current circumstances. Questions you can ask yourself, though, is do you have the courage and commitment to make a wise choice? Your answer is not to hide. You're being invited to look within rather than without. Take the wisdom you already have and apply it to your questions. Or instead, draw forth the humility to find someone wiser to weigh in. But you are the wise one. But you still can ask for help. There's nothing wrong with that. The asking for help is also your cosmic connection. You have the intuition, the wisdom within you to gain that wisdom through your spiritual community, through your spiritual support system. A lot of you may be feeling alone right now. You've had to let go of people. You've had to let go of places and things. So you may be on this self journey right now, where it's just you. You can only rely on you. So when you only are relying on you, you have no choice but to look within in your heart knowing and then connect. You be receptive to the information coming through you. You are like a cosmic computer yourself. You can gain that information. You can access from all times and spaces and dimensions and realms. You have that all within you. You are that cosmic being. You're a spirit in a human body. So, take the wisdom you already have and apply it to your question. This is a powerful time, and others may actually seek you out for wisdom because you're showing and exemplifying and empowering yourself, and therefore it empowers others. So people may be coming to you, and that's okay. We all help each other out. This is also an auspicious period when new relationships are founded on deep truths shared with others. So going back to Ma'at, speaking your truth, speaking your wisdom also, and sharing it with others. And this is a potent period where you're able to share all that you've learned. Extraordinary things are possible when Goddess Metis reminds you of your wisdom and the need to express it. Speak your truth. You got the power within you. That 8, 3 plus 5 is 8. That power within you, that wisdom within you. You are a glorious human being. This is a wonderful Trecena. I appreciate you listening and watching. And remember who you are. All of these goddesses here to help you. How many is this? There's so many goddesses. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's so neat. 11, which goes back to your individuality. Remember to dream the world, your world into being. See the bigger picture and trust in the magic. Let that fire of desire burn. That just came in my head. The song Fire and Desire. You have so much support. You have so much support and you are so loved. Remember who you are, divine being. Remember your connection. Practice. You can call on other people for support. You call on these goddesses for support. Your higher self, your guidance team, the archangels, the ascended masters, your animal guides. You can call on them as power animals to help you to gain courage. You can call on lion spirits. You can call on any of these spirits. They are here to support you. If you ever feel like you want to have a more one-on-one in-depth reading with me, a session with me as a spiritual guide and advisor, I would be happy to be of service to you. This is what I'm here to do, is to be of service in this way, to share my wisdom with you, to share what I've learned on my journey, to help you remember you. I help you help yourself. I help you remember you. That's what I help do. So if you would like to have a personal session with me, a coaching, mentoring, I also mentor on how to connect with spirits in different capacities in helping you remember. I'm just a guide there. So when you got questions, when you're going through something, you have a reliable source to ask as well in the physical. I'm the adaptable cosmic midwife. So thank you for listening to this reading. You can reach out to me at rosaliesjourney.com, or you can send me an email, or even set up what did I call it? It's an initial chat, just to get to know, to see if we mix well before or to ask questions about the different types of sessions that I offer at rosaliesjourney.com. I'm here of service with love, balance, and harmony, and I speak my truth. I speak the truth. So thank you for listening. I hope this helped you. And reflect back over this 13 period moon day cycle, to see how these things played out with you and to see the connections. Of course, if you have any questions, write them in the comments, and I'd be glad to answer them at the right time. Thank you so much. You are loved, you are lovable, and you are love.